Is are currently in a situation, and as a voice comes over the intercom saying, unfortunately, we're unable to lock in your position as the vessel is shaking too much. I'm not sure what's going on inside, but if you could find a way to stop all the commotion, if there is some sort of anomaly inside with you, please find some way to neutralize or subdue it so that we can lock in the gravitational locks and give you an actual... They're basically saying that we can't hook up the airlock because the thing is going to break. And so we are going to be basically entering into initiative. So I would like everyone to roll plus sharp, please. Kidding me. I'm getting really infuriated by this bot.
I've forgotten the command, I'm sorry.
Exclamation point R space 1d6 plus whatever your sharp is.
0. So.
0.
Okay, some links work and some links don't.
10 please.
I mean, that's just sort of what I'll give you for visuals. If you actually want to roll to investigate it, you could roll to investigate a mystery on it. But you understand that this is like a combination of both mystical and technological advancements.
05MIA1 said, that weird or sharp?
Investigate a mystery would be plus sharp, I would think. Let me double check. Yes, it's sharp. If you wanted to use this, this would probably be plus weird because it is a technology that you don't understand, which I will be counting as magic, basically. And that's going to be for a lot of these like artifacts that you guys come across, whether it be something like a stone tablet with a rune on it, or it be like a, you know, space console with like alien technology that you can't read. They're kind of like one and the same.
I would like to investigate the arrow.
All right, please roll to investigate a mystery. That will be plus sharp. Do you have any abilities that would give you an additional dice? I don't think so. You have helping
3.
hand. You also have Mystic, which is every time you successfully use magic, you get +1s and stuff. Yeah, I don't think so. You got a 3, which is a mixed success, which means that I will give you one question. Actually, that's technically not a mixed success. If you had gotten a 1 or a 2, that would have been a failure. But on a 2, or on a 3 or 4, you get to ask one question. 5 and a 6, you get to ask 2. And on a 7 plus, you get 3 questions.
05MIA1 said, does the arrow have any special properties?
Yes, it does. It has a temporal loop, which means that when interacting with ethereal or mystical, magical, or energy-based beings, it will cause them to basically lose their form or solidify them, basically making them more vulnerable to physical attacks. That is the main property of the arrow. It also may have like more distinct or special effects on certain types of creatures, but those would sort of be inherently obvious, or depending upon the type of alien that you're interacting with. You think that if you were to use it on this creature, you would basically neutralize it into a state that would be not energy, and it basically become solid. You get to ask just that one question, actually. So that is your question. Silva, what would you like to do for your turn?
Since when I was looking at it, it seemed to be avoiding touching a bunch of like specific stuff.
Right.
Not Neon. Silva is gonna go over and try to procure him one of the bigger tarps that he can find, that he can see.
All right, what you gonna do with that tarp?
Basically, he's then gonna look at it and say,
Actually, I will say Solus has a very special looking tarp.
I mean, if Solus doesn't try to stop him from grabbing it, and
Yeah,
it
you guys are
looks like it
absolutely
might-
allowed to work together.
Yeah, Silva's gonna grab that and then turn to the plasma being and
Solus,
say-
do you not want to allow Silva to use your tarp?
My tarp!
Okay.
You monster!
You monster.
You're a slime, you don't have rights.
we're all monsters
Oh,
here.
okay, that's racist.
He's the slime, he's every race. I can't.
I mean, not really.
All right, if Paimon does not allow you, or if Solus doesn't allow Silva to use the tarp, then Silva, you have to use a different tarp, I suppose.
Yeah, really, it's just anything, any like tarp. Really, it doesn't have to be the special one.
Yep, you can just grab a tarp.
And then he's just gonna look at the plasma thing. I don't know if it has a identifiable
It's just sort of an
facial
orb
feature.
at the moment.
Yeah, he's just looking at it, trying to imagine a face there.
Yeah. And again, you guys are like in zero gravity, so you're like having to like jump around to like get to it. But you can absolutely get there.
Yeah, he will say,
Yeah, no athletics checks in this game. Just do whatever you want. I don't care.
stand down or I'll have to forcibly subdue you.
It does not respond to you. Do you actually do anything?
If it doesn't
Would you like
respond,
to
then-
manipulate someone? Or
yeah,
do
that's
you
what I
want to
was
kick some
basically
ass?
going for.
Alright.
Like, I want to see if it will acknowledge me saying that, and like if I can tell it's trying to stop whatever it's doing.
I will give you this. I
Yeah.
will give you this. The reason why we are not doing the rules for manipulate a monster is because this is a someone. So you can roll to
Oh, yeah.
manipulate someone, which is plus charm.
Yeah, he's just in the mind. He just knows that fighting this thing here is not a good idea. He would rather fight this thing somewhere else. 2, 4.
That is a mixed success. So, you scream at this thing. If you don't want this tarp on you, maybe back down. And it just kind of floats there. And you don't know if it had any effect on it. Alexander, what do you want to do? You can see that the Gravlocks are actually taking hold of the tram and starting to lock it into its sort of its holdings, but they haven't brought out the airlock to hook up with the doors yet. What would you like to do?
So all that's missing is the airlock?
I mean, they kind of need to like lock it into place physically, but yeah, basically.
I'd like to try to go out and get to them.
Do you want to spacewalk it?
Yes.
Okay. You head to the airlock, and they're like, "We're not even set up the tube yet," and you're like, "See ya," and you just jump out the door. I want you to roll to act under pressure. Which is rolling plus cool. And I will give
That's
you
a 6, so 7.
you get an additional dice. Oh my goodness. Because you have cybernetics.
And that's a 3, so 4.
All right. That is a mixed success and a complete success. So you you kind of flash your badge and nobody stops you and you absolutely go out into space. But as you do, you kind of slip your hand and you're kind of floating a little bit. So you're floating towards the tram, but you're basically just like free floating in space without a tether at the moment, making your way over there. And I think that is your success that is slightly mixed. Hopefully
I like
you
the way
enjoy it.
things are going.
Okay, cool. Telegar, what would you like to do? You think that if you can keep this thing distracted for another round or two, then you will be able to make it. Would you like to do any looting at the moment?
No, I would like to once again telepathy it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to manipulate someone again.
Okay.
Which is...
Let me do my 2 rolls.
And you have two dice. Because you're using
Yep.
telepathy. At 5
I
and
get
an
a
8.
5 and an 8.
Okay, that is a success and an outstanding success. So what would you
Yeah.
like to do to this thing?
I would like to stay deep into its mind as authoritatively as possible. Your manager.
Indecipherable what you said to it. Too garbled.
No! I want to know who's controlling, who's made it come there. Who sent you? Who sent you?
Alright.
You won't let me play into the Karen aspect and find.
I will message you the answer to your question.
Okay.
Dogar, what he meant by indecipherable was that we couldn't understand a word you said.
Oh. It's just me being a Karen like usual.
Nothing changes.
Yeah, nothing changes. Karen.
What,
Aaron
you're
never
just in the
changes.
middle of a life and
Alright,
death
that's the
battle? I want to see your
information
manager.
that you get, Telgar. Zero. You think that
Gotcha.
this is the final round as the docks lock into place and the doors are like you can see that lights come on. You guys have energy now. The doors are still locked, but you get the idea that the airlock is only moments away. What would you like to do on your final turn? As the beast has been relatively satiated, or at least neutralized.
Well, I try and see if I can somehow converse with it in just normal conversation to try and try and.
All right, you know what? You
Take the
sprained my
move on.
arm. Roll plus weird.
All right. Yeah.
You've got good weird, right?
It's.
I will give you an additional dice because you are a strange creature.
Okay. Yeah, I'm haunted. I'm living armor.
Yeah.
So that'd be.
So like roll it twice. Don't roll them together.
All right. So exclamation point R 1d6 plus.
All right. That's a 6 plus 1, so an outstanding success to start with. And a 1. So that is an outstanding success and a failure. So I think I'm going to even that out to just a success.
Okay.
What do you say or do to converse with this creature?
I just say, so, my weirdly slimy energy friend, how's your day so far?
You watch as it kind of comes down, it like floats down towards you and starts to take a humanoid shape and says, well, it's kind of going good, I guess.
Sorry, I
your
shot at
pistol
you, by
back
the
there.
way. No, it's all right. I thought since you were made of plasma that you might enjoy a sort of food or snack.
I'll be honest, it was quite amazing. Where did you get something like that? Because we don't have any type of energy like that on the safe station. The satellite don't really harness that kind of energy.
Well, it's just plasma, but I got it from him over there, and I just point to Tolga.
And you basically go into this conversation talking about like different types of energy and how it tastes, and he basically describes it as that it was like finely aged because it was old, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like having like a code red, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Paimon, what would you like to do on your turn? You can see that the big boys are just kind of having a casual conversation at the moment.
Well, I want to try to manipulate someone into telling me. Oh, hold on, I was cutting out again.
No,
I'd like. Oh, did I not? It
you
showed
did
I
not.
was.
Yeah, go ahead. Just speak your mind, my dude.
Alright, well, I'd like to try to manipulate him into telling us why he's here.
All right, go for it. Roll plus charm.
Oh, I got a 7.
Okay. That is an outstanding success, and they're like, all right, you know what, you got us. It's this was all part of the introduction ceremony. This was all a test to see how you guys would react, and respond to different types of you get danger, you have to respond and see how well you guys worked as a team, or if you would, be able to respond to threats and things and whatnot. And, I'm not technically a stowaway, but, I work on this space station. And I think at this point we drop out of initiative. I think you guys have succeeded enough that the danger has passed.
Sorry for constantly hitting you.
It's all right, little man.
That's a very interesting choice for a disguise.
Well, you gotta pick something that's outside of the norm, and then they don't expect that,
I surely didn't expect it. Very well played, sir. Very well played.
Alexander, as the final thing, I would like you to roll to act under pressure. As they are like starting to bring out the airlock, I would like you to try and figure out a way to either grasp onto the hole or get in there as they're bringing out the chute.
I'm just imagining they told everyone but Alexander what was happening.
That is a 5.
Okay, that is a success. I think you like get out to the door and just like kind of splat against it, and then the chute just sort of like forms around the door. The artificial gravity activates, and you you are the first face that the party sees before anyone else. How would you like to introduce yourself? And please describe yourself.
Okay,
I will also give you guys a minute to socialize and greet each other as I will run to the bathroom. Be right back.
I'm just imagining the doors just like opening. The first thing you see is this fucking random guy in a gas mask.
Eh?
Alright, now I Sparta kick him out.
No, we just all start
We
shooting
don't need
at
a plus
him.
one.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Instantly pull our guns on him.
Is that the new enemy? Kicks me.
Ready! Hey! Fire!
I'm just like, hey guys, I just get shot by each one of you.
You know, we really didn't work at all together in regards to the plasma dude, and we just all in sync. We just all in sync team up on you for some reason.
Just everyone draws their weapons and just aims it at me, even the plasma guy for some reason.
Yeah, the energy creature just points and is like, that's your next target.
Get
Kill!
I don't have my weapons on me. They all got taken, except for the plasma defender.
Just punches me in the face.
The plasma creature just sort of like burp out like a melted shell of a gun that you might be able to repurpose, but could not be repaired to be a gun.
I could probably use this as spare parts for the laser pistol when I get that back.
So about that, man.
It's alright. At least it was tasty. That's what I wanted, to try and, calm him down.
I did quite enjoy it, so thank you very much for that.
Very
My name's Gargamel, by the way.
Zero! Pleasure to meet you. And I just hold my hand out to try and shake his hand.
They take your hand and shake it. There is like a slight singeing, and anyone else nearby might smell something, but there's no physical damage to you.
Okay.
Where's the big guy and the little robot dude?
Scat, the robot guy, just sort of like waddles up after hiding behind Gray, and it's just like, which translates to, goodness gracious, that's over.
You did good, little man.
Like, looks like we passed, and they just start hobbling onto the space station.
What about the big mutant? What?
Like, oh boy, that was scary. And they also.
You nearly strangled me!
I mean,
You did kind of take his form without asking.
yeah, you kind of.
I did ask.
What? I think you did it before.
Oh, you're talking about the big guy.
Yeah.
The big guy whose name is like I don't remember. I think it was like Conrad or something. But Conrad comes up to Alexander. He's like, "Oi, by the way, do you think you could clean up that mess? We've got a bit of a stench problem. There's like an infestation." And just sort of throws a thumb back towards Solus.
I'll remember this.
Yeah, I don't walk here. I don't think I'm gonna clean that.
All right then.
You don't work here. What are you doing up here then?
Gotta
I would
be
also
honest.
like to know that as a figure with an entourage of guards marches down the the chute towards you guys.
I lean, whisper towards the plasma beams. Is that your boss? Your boss, you know, the leader?
Give me a second. No. I am Corey, and I will be your investigation process going through this. I am your secretary and counselor as you make your arrangements here at ARC, so I will be leading you through the process. Congratulations on passing your first test here. If you follow me, we can get you acquitted and get you suited up with some more information. Also, very, very well done, all of you, for your various communication and teamwork. You can see that Corey is sort of this alien woman that kind of just has like a uniform, like white outfit that just sort of like form fits her body in like a pencil skirt, and then like she doesn't have feet at the bottom. She kind of just looks like she has a tail, almost like a Yanti, except her face is oh shoot, what's that blue girl from Mass Effect?
I was about to say Cortana, but that's something completely.
Starts with an L.
Lysandra?
No, it's 5 letters.
Lydia?
Lilith.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But basically, you know how she has like segments to her head. Basically, that's sort of what this person looks like, and she's got like green skin. But she basically looks like that. But she says that she's sort of been in charge of your group, and she begins leading you guys onto the.
Sorry, before we go anywhere, I just turn back towards the plasmoid guy and say, "Goodbye, my friend. I hope I see you again."
Well, actually, I'm coming with you guys, so
Oh.
I'll be walking you through, and I'll be showing you the ropes, as it were. You know, giving you guys some tips and tricks and whatnot. And yeah, hope you don't mind that I'm not really in uniform, but kind of had to. Well, you know. And they just.
I'm aware of this sort of armor. I am literally the arm, so I'm technically naked as well.
Oh, is this the Honkai Star Rail music?
All right, shut up. Yes, it is.
I kind of look at the group whenever she said teamwork or whatever it was she said, and realized no one worked together.
But you guys did bounce off things. Liara, yeah. That's it.
This is not a well-oiled team.
Oh, that's cool. Hunter, did you draw that?
I had someone else do it.
Okay. It's still really cool.
Neat.
Huh. Neat.
Neat.
But yes, Corey leads you onto the ship and begins leading you around, showing you to several locations. And she says, "Oh, also everything that you did manage to procure from the cargo, you can keep them, as that is going to be your main modus operandi as you're working here. There are not many things that we can offer to you, but we will get you suited up with a few things. But as you are out and about on your explorations, anything that you can find and, you know, are able to use, please feel free to use, as we are relatively low on resources and unable to supply you with the utmost, at least until you become higher stature, requiring more prominent materials and resources." But she basically takes you guys into a what looks like a dressing room. and gives you guys all outfits that basically designate you as working for ARC, which are kind of like these gray and white uniforms with black accents.
Alternatively, would a badge or something be put on my armor?
Correct.
Because, you know,
Anyone that is unable to actually wear clothes are given kind of like these sashes or belts or things that to sort of signify. So, but in addition to that, they also give each of you a badge. And what the badge does is it's kind of like the Star Trek badge that allows you to communicate to each other in short ranges. So they can't really like go from planet to planet necessarily. They reach a fair distance. And if you're inside of a cave or something, they might block it. The biggest thing that the badge can also do is that it's a universal translator, at least every language that they have on file. If you guys discover a new alien race or something, you might be, out of luck trying to understand their language. And this is just sort of to, circumvent the whole thing of like me saying a bunch of random nonsense and you guys trying to have to pantomime through it. I just wanted to skip around all of that. But yes, you can also put that on. There are various equipments that you guys can tailor your outfit to. You can keep most of your original outfits and uniforms, like your boots and your hats and your shotgun shell holsters and things and whatnot. But they also have those types of things in the company colors if you would prefer to completely dress up or dress down, however you would like. But also those of you that can't wear clothes necessarily can just take some of the accents and accessories. That's the word I was looking for, not accents. Yes. I think that's it for this room. But Corey stops and asks if you guys have any questions, or if you have any, almost looking directly at Telgar, asks if you guys have any specific predispositions or requirements for like some of your equipment or whatnot. Do you need like power supplies or things and whatnot?
I would definitely like my suit brought back to me, which never should have been put in the carrier.
Yes, your suit is in here, and it has also been it's had its outfit changed to still be a tuxedo, but more in the colors of the company, and it is fitted with a badge.
I raised my hand and well, you see, I did bring a couple of other self-defense weaponry with me, but they got taken away from me. I have no idea where they went after I entered through security.
Yes, at this point, all of your weapons would be given back to you. And again, if you would like, there are like holsters and sheaths in the company colors, or you could keep your originals. But Corey also says, like, it is very good that you have brought your own equipment and weaponry, as again, it is very limited for us to give you any sort of actual equipment. Which brings us to our next order of business, depending upon what sort of job you guys are.
Sorry, I just raised my hand again. Sorry, my apologies for this. You wouldn't happen to have any fusion cores, would you?
Not at the moment, no. We're unable to give out resources like that to initiates.
That is unfortunate, considering they are the secondary power source to this armor. Ooh, that's going to be tough. I'm sure I can manage, don't worry.
Go ahead and roll me manipulate someone. So roll plus charm.
Okay. That'll be just one?
I will give you 2. Because I think this is a reasonable deception that you are trying to do here.
Alright. Ooh. Okay. So it's a 2 and a 6.
Okay. So that is a complete success and a failure. So I think she understands that you are not running off of energy. She like taps a tablet at her and she says, I understand that this is something that is very important to you. Unfortunately, we are unable to give out resources. However, I am under the understanding that one of our own has damaged some of your equipment. And she turns and looks over at Gargamel, who is struggling to put on like some space pants. Gargamel basically has to put on like a full spacesuit because the normal clothes just won't survive touching their body. And if like a glowing ball that is someone's head could have any emotion, it just sort of lowers slightly to look ashamed. I believe that it is possible for us to give you a service rifle instead as a replacement, but as that type of weaponry is not something that we normally have in our stores, this will have to be something else. And basically she will give you a solar pistol, which is similar to a plasma pistol, but rather than having like cartridges or whatnot, it has it basically runs off of solar energy, so itself recharges. Which means that if it ever runs out, you'll have to wait. You can't just like pop out a clip and reload it. So it's like it's a different situation. It's kind of like a give and take, you know.
Okay.
But that's like the kind of standard weaponry that they hand out. But she says, depending upon what sort of job you guys would like to have, we might be able to hook you up with a bit different materials. Would you guys like to start off as reclaimers, surveyors, or chroniclers?
Can we get a bit of context on what each job does?
So, surveyors are like scouts. They go out and investigate planets and systems and causes of concern, or just simply investigating areas that may have some sort of issue, or just maybe we haven't mapped yet, just to sort of take a look and then report back whatever they find. Surveyors will actually go and instigate any sort of action that is required in the section after the surveyors have taken a look. The chroniclers are the ones that basically do the paperwork, that notate and make any sort of recordings, mostly cartography. But if there are any sort of negotiations or diplomatic, actions that are required, they will be responsible for that. They're sort of the middle management. And reclaimers are simply individuals that go in and take any sort of artifacts or individuals of value from a destination that may or may not be suitable for that artifact or individual, such as planets that have had civilization that has disappeared, collapsed, or is on the brink of collapse. We would prefer to preserve their history, understanding, before it is degraded, lost, or stolen by raiders. So this is probably the most dangerous job that we'll be offering to initiates, but as you are basically fresh meat and cannon fodder, we are more than willing to basically throw people like you at the problem, rather than sending our best and brightest over there against uncharted dangers. So basically, would you guys like to go investigate stuff? Would you like to basically charter places and make maps and things and talk to people and do diplomatics negotiations? Or do you want to go dungeon diving and bounty hunting, basically?
I'd like to investigate stuff. That's my vote, probably.
And again, because you guys are basically new conscripts, you might be doing a variety of jobs to start off with. But for the most part, I kind of want to get a vote on what you guys would like to be doing.
I would love to dungeon dive.
All right.
Yeah, dungeon diving as well for my vote.
All right. So 3 votes for reclaimers.
Oh no,
I'm good. I'm down for dungeon diving.
Okay, so that's 3 votes. 0, you wanted to do chroniclers.
Well, yeah, investigate stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And again, you might be doing a little bit of both, but they're like most likely going to be sending you after doing those kinds of jobs.
Sure.
MIA1 said, dungeon dive.
All right.
Well, I guess I'm out with it.
I guess that's majority vote for reclaimers. Which is, to be fair, what I mostly described this campaign at being as. So, you guys will be procuring objects or personnel of value. Again, there is a concern that there are bounty hunters or pirates out there, so you guys may happen upon those on your various journeys. In which case, as you get better and can prove yourselves at your jobs, we may better equip you and send you towards more dangerous tasks.
Alexander would like kind of put up his hand. I have a question.
Yes?
What's the food situation like?
You are able to reconnoiter yourself, and when you visit a station that is in accompaniment with ARC, we will be able to provide you with shelter and food.
Would you be able to provide the food that I eat? No.
You are not required to feast upon vital body functions and fluids to survive. That is merely a choice that you have, and you have chosen to make it your entire personality, and I think that is an important note for your compatriots to know about. And then Corey turns to address the rest of the group. As standard procedure, we are sending a licensed practitioner of medical arts with you on your journey to make sure that you all are safe. And then I think like Gargamel sort of elbows Zero's like, they mostly just kind of want to get him off of the spaceship here, so they're sending them with you. No offense.
Wish you could come along too.
Maybe I could put in a report, but reclaiming's not really my my steez. I don't know why I made him say steez. I'm sorry. I don't.
Well, in that case, I hope I see you again.
Sure thing, bud. I'll probably be there to help you with your fueling process. And actually, that's sort of what we're going next, is we're going to take you to your ship. Basically, you guys are given a ship to start off with. It currently doesn't really have anything other than it can float through space and fit all of you on it. It's basically a glorified satellite that allows you guys to survive space travel. It doesn't have any additional features such as weapons, or it has some deflector shields for, you know, traversing through difficulties of space, but if you were to go up against anyone that had any actual weaponry, you would most likely not survive. You are not even like a diplomatic ship, you are just a sort of surveying scouting ship. There is not any space really for holding any high tech gear or tools or anything. So if you guys wanted to get anything like a lander for like traversing the landscape, or getting a you know, tractor beam or a teleportation device, you would have to upgrade ships first. This is like the very minuscule basic ship. But yeah. And I don't know if anybody will recognize this ship.
Looks familiar.
If anybody recognizes it, I'll give them an egg point. But yes, unless anyone has any further questions, they will basically give you your first their first mission and send you on your way.
Isn't that ship from?
It is the ship from Mr. Red.
Yes, Silva got it first. So Silva, please take an egg point.
I was about to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I was eating.
I'm sorry. He typed it out, so you have no excuse.
Risk of free.
Yeah, Gargamel leads you guys over to your ship and says, all right, yeah, this is the, or that's not his voice. So, fellas, this is the, Reburn. She's a he, actually. He's a bit of a rust bucket, but, you know, treat him right and he'll get you from place to place. And once you guys are all settled in, we'll get you scheduled for a hyperspace ring, and you guys could get yourselves teleported out to those far reaches and wastelands. Also, the other people that did not participate and interact, the NPCs basically, they got delegated to basically janitorial duties. They do not get to accompany you on your adventures.
I look at the ship very closely. It looks like a hammer.
Well, you know, don't go ramming it into things, you know. Not everything's a nail.
Of course not, of course not. I wouldn't dream of it.
Does anyone else have anything?
No.
Okay,
NIA
cool.
once said, "How fast does this guy go?"
It doesn't. Again, this thing is basically just a satellite. Like, you can put yourself in orbit and you can move yourself out of orbit, but it cannot outrace anything. And you need a hyperspace ring to travel through one of the hyperspace lanes in order to get you from place to place.
So it's the robot.
You cut out.
It's basically a rowboat of spaceships.
Basically, yeah. Like, it has maneuverable capabilities, but not a whole lot. It basically just like drifts through space. It's like a solar sailor. It's basically a satellite that like allows you to get from place to place. They will be providing you with a landing craft, which is like basically a small shuttle that all of you will barely fit inside in order to get from planet to planet. But maybe some of you might decide to stay on the ship. depending upon the situation. So maybe not everyone will go down at once, if at all. Which is basically saying if you don't show up for a session, it's all good.
So we already have an excuse for not being there. Okay.
Yeah, basically.
The AFK zone. Yep, no one? Okay.
So, we are sending you to the planet DH3, and there is an artifact down below that we would like you to recover. It is a pre-fall artifact, which means that it is a device that has not been influenced by any sort of outworld technology, basically before any sort of extraterrestrial influence has corrupted it. Unfortunately, it seems as though the planet is up for gust. It has fallen to disarray, and before any more artifacts fall to ruin, we would like you to at least reclaim this one artifact and any others for extra credit. The artifact is known as a Nehelemite I can't read my own writing. Nehelemite? Is that how it is? I'm gonna write it down. A Nehelemite totem, which is basically something of significant value. Totem is just sort of reference to anything that's like hand carved, so it could be like a statue, it could be like a pillar, it could be just about anything. What they know about the from what the surveyors saw is that the planet is almost completely devoid of all life. There aren't even planets. There aren't even plants on the planet. The chroniclers have noted that this the civilization barely got out of the Stone Age. They did not get into a metal or medieval age. And so you do not need to be wary of any sort of traps or technology beyond that realm. Yes, are there any other questions before you are sent to space?
How long do you think this may take, give or take, to get there and back?
Well, with the use of the hyperspace lane, it should only take you about a minute to traverse across space. Depending upon how your investigation of the planet goes and how you're able to retrieve said item or any other items. Again, that's the only required item to get success with this mission, but anything else that you can retrieve will yield additional rewards.
Right.
MIA1 said, how long ago did this civilization fall?
It is unknown. But that is a very good question.
Well, I think I'm ready. If everyone else on this team is.
I'm good to go.
All right.
I'm good.
Right then. Off to new adventures.
Very well. You guys get loaded up on the ship, and shortly after getting on board. It's a relatively small interior. There's not much to explore, but you get yourself situated and find your own, nooks and spaces and places to sit. Is there anything that you guys would like to do on your ship now that it is basically yours? You get like all your equipment loaded onto it and, explore the space. Also, if anyone would like to, they may steer the ship, but it also does have like an automation for like driving towards the hyper ring, and then it's basically autopilot from there as well.
Yeah, I intend to go to the bridge and familiarize myself with pretty much everything in there. Is like I'll just like start studying the consoles and stuff.
Okay. Yep. A lot of it looks fairly generic and easy to understand. Nothing too, useful here. It's not like this thing is designed for any sort of dexterous maneuvers, anyways. So.
I'd
like to immediately look for one of the quarters, like the crew quarters on the ship.
Yeah, there's like a section of the ship where it basically just kind of has like bunks. Basically, there aren't really like individual rooms or anything, but there are like places where people can like lie down and rest. If you want to like try and find or hollow out a section, like a corner for yourself, you can set up something somewhere.
Yes, I'd like to make a nice little section where I can put my armor down and maybe put up some sheets or something, and then just leave fluid all over the place.
There is like a relatively small section where it's like kind of the crafting, armory, suiting up section, where any sort of like equipment and tools and possible materials that you might use, this would sort of be where you would set and hook up stuff for like repairing or working on stuff. And I think you kind of make that your spot, being the engineer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just go and find I'll see if I can find a storage room on the ship.
It's again, this ship is basically like one giant hallway. It's like a long cylinder, and it's just like constantly rotating, which gives it its artificial gravity, kind of spinning anyone out to the sides of it. But yeah, if you want to try and find a secluded spot, it'd be kind of difficult, because if you look to your left or your right, you'll probably see somebody.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to find some sort of, small storage area. It doesn't really have to be big or anything, but yeah, fair enough.
What would you like to do?
No, just sit down.
All right, yeah, you can find a place to seat yourself. Would anyone else like to do anything?
MIA1 said, I like to get familiar with the ship power area.
Okay. Yeah, you can either make yourself to the engines, which is sort of what's powering various sections of the ship. A lot of it is using like several sections of batteries, but there are also the exterior of the vessel is designed for absorbing and harvesting solar energy. So the batteries are constantly being like filled. And there's very little loss due to like heat or energy consumption or like various things. It's all very nice and spotless, and probably some of the best utility that you've ever seen, despite it looking a bit run down and used. Again, the best way I can describe this is like if you've ever like rented out a car to like use for a time, like it's kind of cleaned. You get the idea? Like people have used this before you and people will use it after you. So the nicest that you leave it be for the best. Yeah. Anything else anyone would like to do?
I'd like to start after.
You're cutting out again.
I would love to find the kitchen.
There
Yes.
is not a kitchen.
Oh, fuck. Alright, well, never mind.
There is like a pantry section where you can find that there are like basically rations that comes in various shapes but not really flavors. You can get them in like bricks or you can get them in like Go-Gurt tubes.
Okay.
Oh, this isn't gonna be fun, right?
Yeah, it's basically like it's almost like eating chalk. It's like eating like solid tofu.
I'd like to turn to Solus and go, you think you could turn into some spices or anything?
No can do.
Oh, damn it.
You think you could turn into anyone less annoying?
Here,
That's his
let me
magic power.
turn into Paimon.
I'm so glad I won't have to eat that.
All right. Without further ado, the ship maneuvers towards one of these hyperspace rings, and Paimon, I would like you to roll for your thing.
Oh, right, because we're going to bed, right?
I mean, yes, I assume that you would like. It is recommended that you guys like take a nap during the hyperspace journey. It doesn't technically take a long time, but it is much better for you to be like unconscious during the trip, because it does feel like a long time, and so it is better if you are. Like,
I see. I know what you've done. I know what you've done by saying that.
What do you mean?
It's eternity in there.
It's longer than you think.
It's longer than you think.
Ah, we both know.
Basically, how the hyperspace lanes work, and you guys would know this, is that it basically folds space. It like opens up a wormhole that, rather than like making you guys fly at super speeds, it basically opens, it twists the fabric of reality and makes it a physically shorter distance, but it is quite taxing on certain people's bodies to feel that change. And so once you guys make it to the other side, it is recommended that you wait a few cycles before going through again. But again, if you guys are eager to please and wanting to complete tasks at rapid speed and get rewards quickly, you are able to push your bodies to do so. But it is not recommended.
It's longer than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so would I be rolling just 1d6 plus?
Just... Let me look at your character sheet. Oh, I don't have it.
Here, I'll send you a screenshot of it.
Hold on. I think it's like right here. Destiny's Plaything? No, that's not it. Hold on, let me just look up The Chosen. Okay, Fate. Destiny's Plaything. At the beginning of each mystery, roll plus weird to see what is revealed about your immediate future. So yes, go ahead and roll 2 dice.
And then I add my weird as well, right?
Correct.
Alright, I got a 4 and a 5.
Okay. So Okay, you get a vague hint. So you get the understanding that there is no life on this planet, but there is a reason for it. And you're not really sure what that is, but you understand that the deeper that you go and the more that you investigate, there is a reason why the surveyors did not spend much time there and the chroniclers did not record a lot of stuff. So there is very little information to go off of, and you understand that there is a reason for that. People did not want to stick around here for too long. You're not entirely sure what that is. Yeah. That's what I'll give you.
Okay. Do I know could it possibly in general?
Say that again?
Can I see, like, am I able to tell that the planet is habitable, but there's a reason why people don't want to be there?
You understand that the people and plants that were on this, both the flora and fauna, died.
Okay.
But you're not sure how.
All right.
As you guys come out of hyperspace, it does take you a few cycles to get over to this planet from the hyperspace ring. So you guys do have some time to do any sort of like, talking amongst yourselves, planning preparations, equipment, reconnoiter, whatnot, before you get to the planet. If there's anything that you guys would like to do.